Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation bonus episode. Today we are doing the Halo Campaign Evolved review. Nick has beaten the game, but before we get into that, how are we feeling, Nick, on this Wednesday?
Wednesday. We are going back to back on Wednesday podcast, my friend.
Hopefully this one goes a little bit better.
Yeah, I can see the bar. I can see it. We are talking and there's audio coming through OBS. So that is better than last week's hour and 45-minute crap show that where we lost the podcast. But I'm doing all right, my friend. Literally just beat Halo Campaign Evolved. We pushed up against it. If you're wondering why we had to cancel Disco Elysium in the morning this morning, I needed the time. The stream going late last night definitely kind of screwed me over, and it was a late night anyways last night, so it's sort of just how it goes sometimes. Going to Chicago tomorrow. Excited to get some good deep dish pizza. Excited to see
It's kind of an oxymoron.
Jeff Rosen stock. Dude, I can't wait to go and see Jeff once again.
I'm very jealous.
It's gonna be an exciting time. I'm at the point that I got asked a lot this past weekend, a lot of music questions. This was the first time in my life I feel like I've defended music more than I ever have before, and
Defended?
not defended, because I think that a lot of my close friends love them to death. One of the best trips of my entire life. No shade being tossed their way. These people don't listen to music. They do. They listen to music, but like, it's really frustrating when we're on day 3 of the trip and we're listening to the exact same songs. And when I'm on the aux, I'm switching it up left and right, baby. Like we had everything from Fleetwood Mac radio on at one point, like where I'm just like, if I just need a quick, like, hey, I'm trying to do something fast and not like put an album on, or just try to get a playlist going that's not mine. Fleetwood Mac radio. I went with some 70s rock in the morning. I basically just a dad playlist while he's making breakfast, trying to appease him. But then I'm throwing on for like like we're eating dinner, we just need some acoustic music in the background. Throwing on some like Noah Kahan folk stuff. Throwing on some Bruno Mars. Throwing on some 2010s pop music. Some club bangers for late night drives. I am switching. Like, I'm going and running the full gambit. There was not a single song that I played this weekend that was the exact same song, and I think I played 30 hours of music. But then when my buddy's on the aux and we're listening to some country music, but we're on the beach, so I'm chill with that. I'm down with that. But like, we're on hour 3 and I'm already listening to the same thing that we listened to in hour 1. I need some variety. I need some spice of life. And then even with country music alone, I'm like, give me some like just beach hits. Give me some Jimmy fucking Buffett, dude. Like, give me something that's going to just change it up a little bit on the beach. Just change the vibe a little bit. And so, thankfully, they started to wisen up a little bit towards the end of some of these beach days. It was a good day. But I felt like this week I was talking a lot about music and I was defending it. So I'm doing all right, though. We got Halo today. It's going to be a fun one. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Still kind of recovering from the festivities of the weekend. A 50-hour trophy stream that ended up being 28 hours live straight, platinuming Spider-Man 2, Donut County, What Remains of Edith Finch, and Spyro the Dragon. And I would say it mostly went off without a hitch. I had an absolute blast. I think I could do it next weekend if I needed to.
Nice.
Like it was painless, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm still like recovering from it in some capacity, just staying up really late, staying up till 2 a.m, which is the latest I've ever been on stream, I think, a week and alive.
Yeah.
And then just waking up earliest the next day, and doing it all over again, and giving people even more than what was required of me, because the timer would have run out, but I still had more Spider-Man 2 to play to get that platinum. And I was like, I got time before the Odyssey. So did that, and then went immediately into going to the Odyssey, 3-hour epic of a film, and it was so good. Well, I assume we'll talk about it more once you've actually seen it. Trying to get Nick to make a plan with me to go see it on Friday night at 10 p.m. So hopefully that is when we get that done for him. But yeah, really good weekend. Really enjoying watching you play Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Just very excited to keep things moving along and hopefully getting back to some semblance of normalcy, which is just not an option for Co-op 64 because we always have something coming up, you know, like actual life is right around the corner, and then you factor in like all the other external things that can go wrong on any given day. So it's just like there's no reason hoping for things to be consistent with this channel because or consistently easy with this
Yeah,
channel. Like the content will still be the content for the most part, but like it's just like, man, things are just constantly moving and shaking, and we always have something to look forward to.
the fact that we've gone through as many streams as we have, and the fact that we've this July, like I wasn't planning on reviewing maybe any games.
Mhm.
Like I thought that there was a realistic chance with Halo, with the timing of my vacation, I wasn't going to get to it. AC Black Flag was like just a kind of out of nowhere review where I put it on my calendar. I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to be able to get this done. And then I had a couple grind days toward the end there and I got that review in. But like between the reviews and the amount of streams that we still have pulled off this month with the amount of crap shows going, it really just is the podcast schedule that's just been absurd.
Yeah.
Like for good job with you and Matt. I still haven't listened to the episodes. I will most likely tomorrow on the drive up to Chicago. I'll be trading off in between listening to Jeff Rosenstock music and listening to the content that I missed on the weekend. But like you guys absolutely killed that. Just seeing the lengths and then now seeing the comments on the YouTube. I'm so stoked that Co-op 64 is in a place where I can take a full vacation and it's okay, even with the BS of losing a recording, Matt waking up at 6 a.m, like
You're doing a 3-hour podcast right before a potentially 50-hour long stream.
yeah, like it was a lot, and
Yeah.
I fully understand that. But
based off of the viewership on the most recent podcast about Kingdom Hearts, I've been kicking around this idea that the question on how much of a percentage is our fan base, how many Kingdom Hearts fans, sorry, I don't know how to frame this question properly. Our fan base, what percentage of them are Kingdom Hearts fans? There, we
Yeah.
got it. We figured it out. And I would say like 50%.
really,
And based off of the views on the most recent pod, I think that has confirmed that it is
Really?
right around 50% because it is doing about 50% as well as a normal podcast.
oh,
would.
that,
Yep.
that checks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say, I think that we're about. I know where it's standing in our top
Right.
10 latest spots and
Yeah,
everything.
I mean,
and
I
so-
still, this is for me.
Yeah,
And
I was
that,
about to
you
say.
know what I mean? Like, and I'm glad people are enjoying it, but I understand that it's for a limited audience. But that we very rarely we try to think of the audience when we're picking our topics, but we generally go with our gut and go with what we want to do because that usually means that the audience will enjoy it. But we still factor in your guys' preferences into the cadence of the podcast when we do bracket episodes, when we bring out the top tens or the Mount Rushmore episodes, and then when we fit those in between reacting to your hot takes, reviews, and like
the mailbags.
yeah,
and,
mailbags.
like
what was I thinking? Oh, what we've been playing is the other like big one.
Well,
that
what
we
we've
do
been
all
playing
the
is the
time.
biggest
Yeah.
boss that we do.
Luckily,
Period.
I have 4 games that I can talk about
Yep.
what we've been playing. Immediately.
Sadly,
So
we don't have what we've been playing planned for a while because we
Yeah.
just did one so
give
recently.
me the excuse to talk about Donut County, please.
Yeah, eventually we'll get there. The next one we've been playing, because I'm just consistently, it feels like reviewing games. Like literally tomorrow, I'm gonna get up to my buddy Nathan's place around 3, and then I'm meeting up for dinner at like 5:30. I'm bringing my Switch 2 up. That's 2.5 hours of Avatar Fighting Legends, baby.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Splatoon Raiders.
I don't give a
Same day.
rat's ass. Yeah, same day.
Yeah, I think I'll pick it up and give it a go. We'll see.
Will you give it a go?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Okay. I
I'm
was curious.
interested in that game. I've always been interested in the Splatoon single player experiences. I've just only engaged with the multiplayer so far and moved on to something else once I'm satiated with that. So,
Yeah, I'm very interested to see where I land with Avatar, and I'm obviously just so stoked for that game. Like, I am more and more every single day wanting to do a rewatch of that. But the big news really is that like I plan on getting back from this vacation. I plan on this weekend finally going and booting up The Witcher 3 and beginning that journey.
and surpassing me
Oh,
almost
and, like I'm
immediately.
gonna surpass you probably like
The
by
first
the end
2
of the
days.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's not gonna be hard. I want a big game. I think that AC Black Flag sort of like spurred me on, being like, oh, I could really go for like a big open world RPG right now, and I don't want to go to something that I've already played, obviously, because there's just always something that would be better for content
Think
or
you-
for the audience.
Think you're gonna love it? Think you're gonna like it?
I think I'm gonna like it. I actually no. I normally line up pretty well with like people's favorite games. You know, like I don't think that there's a lot of games that people love in the way that the people love The Witcher 3 that I'm not a fan of. The only ones that I would say are the ones that I've not given the full fair shake to. A game like a Fallout 3, where it's like, I like Fallout 3 from what I remember playing when I was freaking 10 years old, like, but do I actually like Fallout 3? I don't know, Whereas The Witcher 3, I'm like, this is some of the best writing in games, a lot of people would say. The big thing really is, I just need to get through Disco Elysium, and between travel and reviews and everything, like even like tomorrow, I remember when I posted the schedule, I was like, oh shit, like do I have time to stream on Thursday? And then I was like, okay, with the time change I'll be fine and can get up to Nathan's place in time, because he rolls out at like 5 p.m. for a flight of his own. But yeah, like we're making it happen, we're making it work, and I will stream tomorrow, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited to get back to that game. That game's so freaking good, Connor. That game is so freaking good. I'm very excited to see it through finally. But then yeah, once my mornings are freed up, I don't think we have a review for a bit. My next review is probably Marvel Tokon in a couple weeks. Beta this weekend. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Connor, these fists are about to be E for everyone, baby.
I do not think I will be hopping into that.
The beta or just the game?
The beta.
Yeah.
I'll wait for the full release, I think.
I plan on playing an hour of the beta. Like, I don't want to go all in for the exact reason of I want there to be surprises and fun content to hop into. You want to know what else I'm excited to hop into, Connor?
Talking about Halo Campaign Evolved. No rigmarole here with the housekeeping or anything.
No.
Thanks so much for the support on Patreon. The show is going out to everybody in the audience because it's a major review, but you get content akin to this, a bonus episode of the podcast each and every week if you are subscribed at that lowest tier on Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to a crazy backlog of bonus episodes. So go check that out, and it's the best way to support the channel if you like what we do over here at Co-op 64. And look forward to Extra Life, August 8th.
Yep.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Me, Nick, Matt, and Brady, and an appearance from Laura, and potentially another individual. We'll definitely
have another.
We just don't know who the other individual will be.
One of the best. This is potentially. I told the people that are for sure not going to be on that content this weekend about like what the content is, like for the challenge that I have prepared for y'all, and they're like, "That's brilliant."
I think that we have done so many of these long marathon 24-hour streams at this point that we've really honed in on what makes sections special and thus makes the whole stream special. It's doing bits.
Yeah.
Like simply just playing a game for a couple of hours and then switching to another game and switching to another game is like not what makes these streams really magical.
Yeah.
It's doing stuff like what I assume the Two Shoes Challenge will be, or doing the Gamer Gauntlet, and doing
Sea Salt Ice Cream, 1v1 COD, Brady and I do the beer taste test, the platinum, like racing to get the platinum for Astrobot.
Right.
Like
each of us having a side of the controller for Fall Guys.
Yeah, like all
forever ago, but
yeah, like
that's the one that popped in.
The shenanigans are really what makes the stream awesome. And I'll say this much, like I feel confident that this is going to be the best, like not the best Extra Life, but like the best stream we ever do.
Yep.
Like I feel it's the Joseph Ferris line of like, when you have a game that's like this good, it's hard not to be cocky about it. Right. And like with the stream that we have planned and the bits and the like fun, I'm like, it's hard not to be like, this is gonna be awesome. So I'm excited.
So that is August 8th, raising money for Cincinnati Children's Hospital through the Extra Life Foundation.
I mean, it's just Extra Life. There's the Children's Miracle Network that like hosts the whole thing, and then it's Extra Life. Yeah.
All right, so put that on your calendar. But let's get into the main topic. We're going to kick this off with a short form review. Are you ready to go, Nick?
I'm ready.
Nick, you have beaten Halo Campaign Evolved. Shout out to Xbox and Halo Studios for the review copy. Nick, how are you feeling about the latest entry in the Halo saga, as in just it's a remake of the first one, but it is the newest product for Halo, this massive franchise. So how are you feeling about it?
I think that Halo Campaign Evolved is a worthy remake of one of the most genre-defining video games ever created when it comes to first-person shooters. I think that it is a very great product, and I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10. I want to start with the fact that as a remake, the one for one aspect of this being a remake, it looks gorgeous. It plays immensely well. The sandbox of Halo is just so much fun. Seeing grunts fly across the screen after you stick them with the grenade is always satisfying. And then they give you a little bit more of an expanded arsenal from the Halo franchise, going and pulling weapons from Halo 2 and beyond, pulling them back in time into Campaign Evolved. And it makes the Halo 1 experience that much more fun. Getting to wield an energy sword is an absolute blast. There's so much there that makes this just a more fun, prettier version of Halo. And the reason that it's not a 9 or above is I do think that we are still lacking in that multiplayer aspect. I wish the multiplayer was here. I do think that this is a lesser product than what Halo 1 was without the multiplayer. But when we're talking about what the content of this game is, it is a great, it's a phenomenal remake. It's beautiful. The sound design's perfect. Driving your Warthog is fun. Doing it with friends is even more fun. Like, all of this works in a way that I think that it is a great remake. But I do think that it is still held back from being amazing because it's not the full package. But what is added to this package is what takes it to that next level, that 8.5 out of 10 for me from that 8 out of 10 product. And that is adding 3 campaign missions that are prequel missions to the main story, where it's Chief and Sergeant Johnson going on an adventure. And that adventure is freaking awesome. Halo is supposed to be awesome. And these missions are awesome. Beautiful art design with how these levels look. You are like, every single time that we go to like a new section of these 3 levels, I'm like, man, this might look better than anything that's in the base game, and the base game still looks phenomenal. The story that they're spinning with these 3 chapters is very like obvious and short because it's only 3 chapters. We're not going on this like globe trotting or Halo trotting adventure. It really is just like sort of a streamlined process, but there's still hype. There's still great one-liners. There's still Chief being badass. And that's really what elevates this package as a whole to make it something that I think is now the standard way to play the OG Halo, one of the greatest games of all time. With that being said, it's an 8.5 out of 10 because it doesn't have that full package that Halo 1 had. But for $50, I feel very confident to be like, if you've never experienced Halo Combat Evolved, the way to play it is Halo Campaign Evolved. And I think that it is a great remake of one of the all-time great video games. 8.5 out of 10.
Very interesting. I can only speak to my experience playing the preview build. Yep. I did not have the time to play this because the days that I would have been playing it, I was at death's door, ill.
Yeah.
I just, those were the days that I had allocated, and those were completely ripped away from me. So I was not able to get this done between being sick and then all the content that we had to shoot going into the weekend. But props to Nick for getting it over the finish line and making it work, even though he was out of town for many, many days.
Like the entire review period.
Yeah. And he basically hunkered down and beat it in the last few days.
Yep.
I can, like I said, I'm basing a lot of my assumptions off of and takes off of your takes off of that preview build.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious about certain things, but I still want to organize this rather than hopping into the discussion points I want to pull at. We'll get to them. Let's start with big picture. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Let's talk about Halo as a whole, the state of Halo a little bit. I think where Campaign Evolved fits into that context with where Halo Studios currently is and where Halo as an IP is and where it's going. And then also tell me about your feelings about the Halo franchise broadly, but try to focus mainly on your feelings on the original Halo Combat Evolved, which I think you only played in the Master Chief Collection, correct?
So I played Halo 1 growing up, Master Chief Collection with friends, just bopping around certain levels, certain sleepover nights. My first time ever rolling credits, like for sure, definitively rolling credits on a campaign, not Campaign Evolved, Combat Evolved. That's going to be conducting the entire podcast.
Yep, it's a problem.
But Combat Evolved literally was 2 years ago when I was like, I don't know if I've ever beaten Halo 1. Like, I remember playing Halo 1, but I'm like, I mean, Halo 2, I can go through the story. I can get you home and be like, yeah, like this is what you do in Halo 2. Halo 3, same deal. But like Halo 1, I was like, okay, what happens here? And is this level in Halo 1 or is it in Halo 2? Like, I just didn't know. So I was like, okay, let's go. It's a short game. Let's beat this. And it's so just like obviously one of the GOATs. Like from the way the physics work to how badass Chief is, the score is just so killer. Like I so often when I'm playing a shooter, I want to go and have my own music bumping in my ears, but it's like, why would I have my own music bumping when you have the GOAT on the track? Like it's so awesome and energetic and thrilling to have that soundtrack playing as you're mowing down Covenant. And so going and having this experience where now we are taking this game that was 25 years old, and then you fast forwarded it about a decade and you get the Master Chief Collection, and then you fast forward another decade or so and you get this. I think that I don't think that people are like, we need this game.
We also got a remake before the
Yes.
Master Chief Collection
Yes.
as well.
I don't think that a lot of people are like, oh man, like we're doing this again. But this is the modernized, sexy version that I can recommend to Matt, who has never had an Xbox and has a PS5. You know?
I disagree based off of my experience playing the
Okay.
playing the preview build. I do think that there are many reasons that I would still feel comfortable recommending the Master Chief Collection version or the anniversary
Well,
version. Like I think that this doesn't supersede everything that came before it when it comes to ways to play Halo Combat
The
Evolved.
reason it supersedes it is the campaign aspect. But if someone's like, I want to go and play all of Halo 1 and get some multiplayer games, and it's like, yeah, I'll play the collection. Like, that makes sense to me. But like, when it comes to just playing the story of this game, I think that this is like so clearly the best way to play it.
Yeah. I really have to be careful here because I genuinely cannot give a full
review.
perspective
Yeah.
on this because I
Yeah,
only
you're
played
good
the
to-
two
yeah.
levels, but like I think a lot of my feelings and worries about the game would carry through to the rest of the game, and I cannot dig too deep into this because I do not think that would be fair to Campaign Evolved, and I think your opinion should be the driving opinion here,
100%.
but I'm just trying to poke and prod a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the other aspect that you're not bringing up is there's 3 extra levels
Right.
that make it in my opinion, an actual full video game package. Where, like, if we're talking about the campaign aspect of it alone, the campaign in Halo 1 is fucking short. Like, you can fly through this campaign, and playing it as recently as I have, and then playing the couple levels that we did recently for the preview, I'm like, those 2 levels in particular, I'm pretty sure I flew, and they're beefy levels. They're like 45-minute hour levels.
Those 2 levels,
Each one, the
preview build
silent
ones?
cartographer, and then the one that's after it in the snow and everything.
Mhm.
Like, those are
you
hour-ish
sold
levels.
on the control room.
Yeah, I think that I beat them in like 30 minutes on this playthrough because I just done it recently enough, and I sort of know where to toss that grenade and when to hop into the Banshee and who to elbow in the back to get him down.
These Halo games are, or at least the original 3 and probably Reach, are like 8 to 10 hours
Yeah,
long.
but you go and you add these 3 levels, and these 3 levels are beefy levels. When I was texting you today, being like, I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to beat it, I started up the levels around like 1:45 on these last 3, and then I beat it in about 3 hours and some change. So now we're talking about a package that is a lot closer to that 12 to 13 hour range. And I feel like for $50, it's like, yeah, the 13-hour game, if you've never played Halo before, this is how you should play Halo. Because the 3 levels are also awesome. And the game's beautiful. Like, the main question is, what are you looking for from a Halo experience? Or do you want that multiplayer experience? Which I do think that we're talking about a remake. This is a remake, and you have to take it as a remake. So I think in this review in particular, I'm like, this is like great, but it does feel like to some level, like, man, how nice would there be if there was a multiplayer? And the worst part is we know that a multiplayer kind of exists because we know Halo 1 had a multiplayer. So I'm like sitting on my hands being like, how dope would it be to like finish out this campaign and be like, all right, time to go and hop into like one of the greatest multiplayer experiences of all
Is
time.
there an argument to be made that you can't hold that against this game because it was marketed and it was told explicitly that we are focusing on this? This is what the product is. We are just doing the campaign. So you have to review it based off of what the product it is rather than what you want it to be.
Absolutely. You can make that argument, but it's like, You're telling me that like there's an elephant in the room and we're just not going to talk about it if that's the case.
I agree that there should be multiplayer.
Yeah.
I just think it's difficult to
But I also think that
review with that in mind.
Well, I also want to take this review, and once again, we're in the long form now, so we're just shooting the breeze. It's a $50 package.
Yeah.
A $50 package for a game that is 25 years old without the fucking multiplayer. So you better bring the goods when it comes to everything else, and I do think that they did that. These extra, like, I think that we need, you talk about broad Halo and where we're at with Halo and Halo Studios. This game has the first new Halo content in 5 years when it comes to a campaign. Like, it's been 5 years since Infinite. And I think that these 3 levels are freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I think that these 3 levels are great. My biggest compliment that I can give to this game is I finished that. All I want to do is play more Halo. Once again, I have that itch, and the game is not sort of also from a review perspective, not satisfying the itch of being like, it's not an issue of like, oh, they left me wanting more. It's like, I kind of need more. Like, I want to be served more Halo, and the fact that I sort of am just like, what am I going to do? Go back to the Master Chief Collection?
Play Halo 4.
Play Halo 4? Sure, I can do that. But
You never
like,
played Halo 4, right?
I know, I've just watched you play it when it first came out. Once again, there's options for me to go and like have more Halo content, but I'm saying that we have this new game out right now, and it's not delivering all the way that I would like.
Right.
And so, once again, Elephant is so clearly the room, which is multiplayer. We got to talk about it.
People are going to get mad at me for saying that you should go play Halo 4 when you should probably go play Halo 3 ODST, dude. That shit rocks, man. And you would love it. I think you would really
I think
like
the large issue right now, too, is like, yes, I want to play more Halo.
You think you're going to think it's a big step down from this?
No. I want to play more. I want to play Halo multiplayer. It's kind of my issue. Because when you think about the Halo package, I think about picking up the 360 that I got that ended up getting the Red Ring of Death, playing Halo 3 for the first time, going and like having my fucking mind blown. Like, one of the coolest experiences ever was playing that game. And then you want to know what I did for the rest of that summer? Played that multiplayer, big dog. Played that multiplayer, and then Reach was out. Played that multiplayer. Like, the multiplayer is how you sink in the extra, 20 to 100 hours. And for this to be like, okay, like, yeah, what I'm most likely going to do is to get like my fix back in after I go and do some travel and I settle down for the weekend and everything. I might go and play those 3 bonus levels again. That might be the way that I satiate this fix.
I had a bit of a chuckle to myself thinking that Halo Studios took a page out of Tetsuya Nomura's playbook with the lead up to Kingdom Hearts 3. We got a 3-hour quote unquote demo with the 0.2 fragmentary passage or Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage portion of the 2.8 collection. And that is, you also got the first new content in forever is a 3-hour prequel, which also fragmentary passage is a prequel.
I think that's a valid way to go and do it. Like,
it's okay.
I think that
it's not what you want, but it is something at the very least.
Exactly. It's something. And so once again, I kind of want to go through the experience of playing this. Like, I played this in 3 sessions. Like, the first session I did was from the beginning through the library. Like, I played a very beefy section. Then I did library to the end, and then I did the other 3 levels. And I think that this is a game that if you're playing with friends, I did not play campaign involved with any friends, mainly due to the fact that you were busy. Brady's busy out of town also. I was out of town for a spell. And the people that I would know to hit up were most likely ahead of me at the time.
Do you think that could affect your score if you had played with friends?
I'm happy
it would not go down, I don't think.
It would make it go up.
Yes.
But the issue is, I think that almost is like not disingenuous to what this game is offering. I know what it's offering when it comes to that co-op experience.
It's like reviewing RE5 higher.
Because
we had a bunch of idiots and we're making jokes the entire time.
And I do think that if you play this game just co-op, like, playing Halo co-op is like a elite 10 out of 10 gaming experience. Doesn't matter what you're doing, like which game it is or whatever. Like, once again, the physics in this game and the way that going and shooting a needler will always be satisfying. Like, I think that this game does a good job with having that experience available for you, but playing it just headphones on, locked in. I played it at my monitor, which is something I normally don't do with video games just in general. I'm almost always on my couch. I did play it with a controller, though, still, because that's how I grew up playing Halo. I think that this does a good job being a great solo experience. And then if you do want to go co-op and get a bunch of buddies, you can do that, and it's there for you. But I don't think that, like, the campaign solo experience is sort of what I assume most people are going to hop into. It's hard to get a fire team of 4 people to go and play some of these levels and have it be with your buddies. Everyone's busy. Everyone's got jobs, stuff like that. And obviously that's sort of what we ran into with this review, because the initial plan, like we talked about, it was to potentially try to get it together. But when we saw the release date and we saw the travel that I had and Brady had, it's like, okay, like we just got to be realistic.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you want me to tee up the next
Yeah, sure.
bit of this? So obviously this is a remake.
Yep.
There are going to be, in some instances with remakes, some minor tweaks, some major changes. From what I've seen for Halo Campaign Evolved, it's mostly just visual updates. They changed some of the sound effects for guns and stuff and retooled that. But they've also switched over to Unreal Engine 5 for the first time, which will be the engine. Unreal will be the engine for Halo going forward. But before we get into like the more surface level stuff on the visual front and like the sound design stuff, I want to talk about any of the more notable changes here. We got new, like as you mentioned in the short form, new weaponry for Halo CE brought from later in the franchise back to this package. I don't know if you. I think we should probably. There's some information out there.
There's information out there. I don't want to say what's in
let's
the
not
game.
say exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things is like literally on the cover. I think maybe I don't know. But it's been highly promoted in promotional material, so you probably know what I'm talking about. But there's others that I didn't know about until you told me about them today. So let's preserve the surprise for you guys there. But I know that they added sprint.
I want to discuss sprint in this game.
Okay, and then I want to talk about the library, which I know is one of the more notorious sections in Halo. Hot take, I have always enjoyed that section quite a bit. It's a very different vibe from the rest of the game. And it does go on too long, but I still really enjoy it. But what... how do you feel about sprint in Halo Campaign Evolved, and how do you feel about like the tweaks that they made to that specific level, or if they made any more major tweaks?
There's one. I'm not the Halo expert. I'm not gonna. There's going to be probably somebody on YouTube that makes a phenomenal video. Here's the 50 differences from Halo Campaign Evolved and Combat Evolved. Like, but that's not me. Like, I love Halo. Halo's one of my favorite gaming franchises, but I'm not going to be the expert on. I can't name every single level that's in this game. It was shocking. I could name more than I expected though. With that being said, sprint and the library actually kind of go hand in hand, which is the pace of this game. I was not using sprint as much as maybe a lot of people would expect you to use sprint, because when you have sprint available in most shooters, you just consistently use it. Whether it's Fortnite or Call of Duty, that's just a go-to thing. Sprint is so good in this game because it just gets you from point A. This about sounds so dumb. Gets you from point A to point B a lot faster. And there's a lot of times, whether it's early levels or a level like the library, where you sort of just need to like get to the next area and there's not any enemies around, or maybe you're backtracking, or maybe you're going to flip a switch, and just getting to those things a little bit faster. That was one of my biggest gripes with the OG Halo. It's slow. And Halo physics are always fun. Don't get me wrong. Like some of the like slow prodding that you do through the mud at times, it feels, is fun, but it's not convenient. It slows the game down so often. And in a level like the library, there's a couple times where I'm like, okay, like I've died a couple times to the flood. Like I just kind of want to get to that next save point. I just keep on getting one dude that bursts on me. And so like, at least let me go and like get to the save point, like get to see the next checkpoint, like pop up, then turn around and blast all the flood behind me. Like that's a good relationship with that level that I had, where I'm like, I think the library is still the worst level in the game, but I think it's a better version of it because it plays a little bit faster and it doesn't feel as long and prodding because sprint shortens up the level.
Did they make any like map changes?
I don't think so.
Library? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I feel like it, once again, I'm going off of memory from 2 years ago, so there's a chance that like my biggest fear with this review is like someone's like, how did Nick forget this? And it's like, it's been 2 years, but like I think I have a good pulse on my memory of Halo 1 and the differences that would be had.
The issue is that there's many experts out there on these Halo games that can tell you every little detail about it, so they will be able to poke and prod at some of the inconsistencies with your ability to recollect certain moments or whatever. So like, which once again, you're going to be put under a microscope for those things.
Which I'm totally fine with. Shout out. Like once again, I playing this game right now is like such a treat. Like reviewing a Halo game is a blast. Like, and that's another reason why I was so down for the grind of this review, because I was like, it's Halo. Like we're getting to review a Halo game right now.
Mhm.
That's fucking awesome. So like I'm gonna go and enjoy that, and I did enjoy that thoroughly. But yeah, I fully understand that there's gonna be somebody in the comments that's like, actually, this is what's up with this level or that, and that's totally fine. But yeah, I think that the game plays just better. I think that I want to get into the Unreal 5 aspect of the conversation now with the change there. I think that this game looks phenomenal. Like Unreal Engine 5 often has an uncanny aspect to it. But once you get a couple minutes into it, it's a lot like Star Fox. Where you going and you're immediately like, this actually just looks great. Like it actually just looks potentially better. And I know that you might disagree with that from the preview build aspect, but
Yeah,
I think that
speak on it.
I think that game looks phenomenal. And like there's certain times where you're in like the lush forest areas and everything, or there's a couple levels where you're in like dark areas. It looks awesome. Like seeing the glow of certain grunts off in the distance or foliage that it's glowing, or just the way that the needler goes and glows as much as it does in this game when you're in those dark areas. I'm like, this looks great. And I'm not saying that it doesn't have its moments where I'm like, oh, maybe I kind of wish like it was like before, because not even nostalgia goggles, but just like artistic style decisions that you made back in 2001 might still hold up to be like the proper way to do it. But like the way this currently looks and with the amount of stuff there, like I feel like this game plays or looks like a 2026 video game in a large way, where if I went, and I did recently go back and played Combat Evolved back on the collection, man, it's hard every single time. It that plays like a game that came out on the late PS3. Like it looks like that, or an Xbox 360 generation. And so yeah, I think that this looks great, and I thought it was going to be more of an eyesore than it was, but I think that the way that this game runs and looks is very well done.
Yeah, what I'll say on the Unreal Engine 5 of it all is that I think I am in the minority, but I'm definitely not alone in feeling very strongly about some Unreal Engine 5 games
Yeah, sure.
that I would argue look bad, and others would argue look fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that is the case here. I'm just saying that I'm going into this with that feeling. Like, for example, MGS3 Delta, I hate the look of that game.
Yeah,
and it's all Unreal Engine 5's faults, in my opinion. Or you could argue that it's the usage of the engine, but I don't like the way that game looks, and it strips out the character from it. But many people disagree with that feeling.
I think I like the way that game looks, even though it has some uncanny moments for sure. Like, I still like it.
It's just everybody has. I think this is something that people feel very strongly about one way or the other, or at the very least, I think that very vocal people feel very strongly about it, but most people are just going to be like none the wiser, be like, this looks really good.
I think that is actually the biggest thing I want to bring up with the UE5 usage is when, if I were to play this with my buddy Sam, who he's a ball and gun gamer, he plays 2K, Madden, Call of Duty, and then I'll get him to play God of War or Last of Us every now and then. If I were to go and be like, hey, bro, let's come over and let's do some Halo together, like, I think he'd be like, this looks awesome. Like, this looks insane. Are you kidding me? Like, and when you're capturing that audience with a game like Halo, yeah, I think that they did a great job with it. And so when it comes to the way the game looks and plays and runs, and I will say this, I did have one crash at the very end of my playthrough. I
played on PC.
Played on the PC, which
with an Xbox controller.
With an Xbox controller. And yeah, so I had one crash towards the very end. I feel like that's always just a necessary thing to toss out. You never know with the way the games are patched with the PC that I had.
Nick has a 4080.
Yep.
And provide all this information for the PC nerds out there.
Yeah. And so yeah, no, but I think that the game ran flawlessly while I was playing it. And having one crash is also just like, I don't look at it as a crash as a bad thing. I look at like frame droppage and other stuff that bugs as like an issue. In the same way that like
there are many reasons that a game can crash that aren't even the game's fault.
Exactly, and that's why like even like we've reviewed plenty of games on like PS5, and like all of a sudden like my PS5 just bugs out for some reason. It's like, okay, like I'm not going to blame the game for that unless it's a common occurrence. Or
I blame the game a little bit more on PlayStation, just because it's like a closed ecosystem, whereas PC has a lot of moving parts that are not even related to gaming that might, for some reason, cause a problem.
Coming
off
of my computer blue screening and ruining an entire podcast episode. So yeah, I freaking hate my computer right now, but I like this game.
So I want to touch on the gameplay you already touched on the sprinting, but like the gunplay and everything. And then I want to touch on the sound design, which I think goes in hand with the visual.
Yeah.
Let's go sound design first, just because
Uh,
I think it leads more naturally.
yeah,
into
the
that.
sound design's excellent. It's best in the
Yeah,
biz.
this is something that I think that I can comment on based off of the preview.
Yeah.
I got to mess around with, I think, every gun in the base game. This was my biggest problem with the with my experience during the preview build, and I think Nick and I just feel very differently about
Really,
it.
you didn't like the sound design
Yep.
of the? Wow, I think the sound like yeah. I think that what I'm learning right now is this remake just might be
Not for me.
not for you.
Which so like after that preview, I was very excited to play it with you
Yeah, yeah.
and Brady, and then and the only reason I was going to play it probably is if we could go into the hop into a warthog together
exactly.
and take on the Covenant and run over some grunts. And since that was not an option, I don't feel that this is something that I really need to race out to get to. But I do think that this game is going to do very well, and based off of everything you've said, I think that a lot of the stuff that I'm a little bit more apprehensive about, I think is going to be something that is for the most part, at the very least, tolerated and
If not,
probably
yeah.
enjoyed.
I
And
think it will be
yeah,
enjoyed.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that it will be enjoyed. I once again, this is the fun part. We have no. I haven't talked to anyone about this game. I have no idea what anyone's thought process is when it comes to Halo. Campaign Evolved. I expect this game to probably like 8.5. Like the main question is. The hard part about reviewing a remake, it feels like a different review than anything.
Yeah, because
else.
Halo CE, the original, which I guess
Yeah.
you can't say CE to distinguish
Yeah.
between the two. Like people would say, like, what does that have on Metacritic? Like a 96 or something?
Yeah, it's either
97?
97 or 94.
So, like, why would this not be that if it's just that game
Exactly.
without the multiplaer?
But
maybe
without the
maybe you go to
multiplayer.
like a 90 though. Then
Yeah, for me,
and-
it's so noticeable
yeah,
though that you got to drop it
Right.
to that 8.5 area. I do want to clarify too. I finished out that base game and I was ready to give it an 8. So I want to kind of go now into you brought up like weaponry. The weapons in this game are all excellent, and the added arsenal makes it more fun and more varied.
do you think it feels
especially-
different?
I think that it feels different because the arsenal change is like there's just certain aspects that
And
are
sprint is added.
yeah,
into the
and
mix.
sprint like there's it feels different, but when you're talking about like you're still in the same rooms with the same amount of enemies often, and like it still plays and feels like the same game. But I want to last thing in this review touch on is like those 3 levels of bonus content. I think that like it feels not shoehorned in necessarily. It definitely is, like, to be clear, like we're talking about something that's a prequel. It's not really part of the base story, but it feels like it could be part of the grander narrative of Halo and is done well. I think that the environments are amazing. I think that the level designs are awesome. It feels great. Like I kind of wish that this was like DLC to Halo Infinite, even more so than getting added onto this. But I'm happy it's here because it definitely fills out that package more and more.
Yeah, this is the aspect that I think is selling me the most on
Hopping
getting in sooner rather than later. I did think it sounded fucking awesome. More Halo missions with a what is essentially a buddy cop experience with Johnson and Chief sounds awesome. And it's the first single player Halo content we've gotten since Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
So I'm itching for more, and this might hold me over until we get the next mainline game. Where do we go from here, Nick?
Give me more and make it fast. This might be my hot take with all this as we close this out. I need more, and I think that Halo as
Halo
a
2.
franchise has been right now they should be doing what Fallout's doing. Get the remakes cooking. Make sure you maybe give another studio. Obviously, they're not going to do that with Halo Studios.
Yeah, that's
But
the
like,
problem.
they need to have 2 teams in Halo Studios, and they
They
need to
could
figure it out.
barely run one team.
I
right now.
understand. I understand where Xbox is at right now.
Yeah.
But I think that this comes out and they're going to have a outcry of people saying, okay, give me more.
Yeah.
And I think the sales on PS5 are going to say, give me more. And I think that the way that the audience is going to receive this is give me more. And once again, I could be completely wrong. This game could go and bomb review wise and bomb sales wise, but me as just someone that really loves this franchise, I will always be excited to play more Halo. Like I will never not want that. And I feel like it's been 5 years since Infinite. I like that they're dusting off Chief here to get this adventure out there and have a good time with it. But like playing the new content, I'm like, I love the new stuff. I love that they're doing with that. And once again, I think that the narrative in that like works. And I'm like, okay, can I just get like 10 more hours of this? Like if this game was, we have actually no campaign involved, and they just basically did Gears of War E-Day doing a prequel, and it was that mission, but like way longer and with twists and turns and like more narrative added to it, I would have been like, this is one of the best Halo experiences out there. Like,
Yeah.
so I just want more, and I want it fast, and I do. And for the love of God and all this, holy, please give me multiplayer as soon as possible.
I did say on CGNC with Matt when we discussed the Halo multiplayer game that my hope for the future of Halo is that this is a one and done remake for now.
Yeah.
Maybe they reassess in the future, but I think you got to reestablish Halo as one of the big dogs
Yeah.
in the industry, and that seems like what they are trying to do with based off of what they have said with the restructuring within Xbox. They're going to focus on Halo, they're going to focus on Fallout, and they're going to focus on Elder Scrolls. And I think that if you want to get Halo, I think Halo has the highest mountain to climb there to get back to where it used to be. And if you want to get it back to where it used to be, I think you need to do a new mainline Halo game that is that caters to where the franchise was with these more linear experiences. I don't think Halo Infinite is the new roadmap for what future Halo entry should be. I think you can toy around with that a little bit maybe and have some missions feel a little bit more open, but which you could argue that is the case for earlier Halo games. But either way, I think that you got to make a phenomenal single player experience. It needs to be in line with the best of the best. This needs to be like best foot forward. Go into it thinking that this is our last chance. And then the multiplayer needs to learn from the mistakes of Halo Infinite, because we all agree that Halo Infinite's multiplayer was fucking phenomenal at launch.
I'm gonna you can continue.
It needs to be a full package. I don't think you should be splitting these up. I don't think you should be releasing 3 remakes and a multiplayer game in between it, and just kind of shoving Halo out there regularly to keep your bottom line moving steady and making a little bit of cash and keeping Halo relevant. But I think if you want Halo to get to where it used to be, you got to make a splash. You have to have a moment, and I don't think you have a moment without recapturing the fever, the Halo fever that we saw around Halo 2, 3, and Reach.
Well, I want to bring up, I think that the biggest issue with Halo Infinite was the multiplayer is free and it bit off more than it could chew. It was trying to be a live service game. Except the fact that you're not going to try to be a live service this time around and make a good, tight multiplayer experience.
Can you do that in 2029 or whatever?
I mean, I'd spend $70 on a new Halo game still.
I think that we agree on that, and I have a soft spot in my heart for tacked on, in quotes, single player experiences that, like, I don't go in with the expectation that we're going to get this constant progression, that we're going to get these major updates and content drops. But the base game itself is just so fun and replayable when it comes to the multiplayer that I find myself returning to it over and over again. And I think that was the case for early Halo games, that people weren't itching for a battle pass. They just liked playing each match individually, and at the end of that match they said that I have to hit go again. I don't know if the industry is in a place where you can get away with that at this point, and you have to be very, very special to be something that can get a massive audience on that basis.
I mean, Call of Duty does it every year though. Still, like, where you're not like, there is the battle pass and the Warzone-ization of all of it. But let me pitch you on something.
There's regular updates too. There's seasons.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, do a Halo. I'm gonna save Halo for you real quick. Yes, I think that they should remake all 3 of these games at this point. Use it, like, I think that retooling a lot of this stuff is actually brilliant. The way that they're, because I think that they're able to just go and not only keep the IP alive, but like, I'll take one of these every couple of years. I'm down for that.
The problem is that it puts them behind the 8 ball for a future
one.
Yeah.
I also think that the next Halo game, they should go and say, hey, we're not doing Halo Infinite. We're actually going to go and have somebody come in and storyboard 3 games. And we're going to have a new trilogy.
Yeah, that'd be smart.
And we're doing Halo 1, we're doing Halo 789, do the Star Warsization and actually have it work out this time. Do 789, and when you release a multiplayer, say, hey, we're going to do a season pass every 3 months. You get 4 new multiplayer maps, and you get some new
Two new
cosmetics,
modes.
couple modes. Sure, like bring in snipes, bring in all the stuff, rotate these things weekly, bi-weekly, double the XP weekends, go back to what works, and then continue to go and release this. I think Halo has a massive uphill battle. I think this is a phenomenal first step.
Yeah, I think that you could very well be right, and my hopes and dreams for the franchise, I think we're both in line with what we are hoping for
Yeah.
Halo. It's just a matter of
How they
how
get
we
there.
get to that end goal, and
Yep.
I'm itching for a new mainline Halo game.
Yeah.
I say what you want about the 343 now Halo Studios output of 4, 5, and 6. I love those games. I loved Halo 4 and 6, and think 5 has some redeeming qualities, but I would have taken one of those at the level of Halo Infinite every 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a bummer for me to think that we're going to go Halo 1, 2, and 3 before we get the next mainline epic Halo
but
experience.
just Xbox is in a weird spot right now as a
there's
whole.
a lot
So
of
like,
moving parts.
like what I'm like, does Halo Studios even have control over what they're doing next?
Yeah.
I don't know. And so in the meantime, though, if this is the result, if this is the answer, and there's more content alongside with it, like if you're doing Halo 2, but then you're also doing like prequel to Halo 2 stuff, and like we're gonna continue down that, like I'm down for it. I just want more Halo. You want to know what else I want, Connor? To shout out the amazing people over on patreon.com/club64 to support the show. You guys keep the lights and mics on. Obviously, this is a fun one. This would be a bonus pod, but it's going to go out for everyone right when embargo drops, because it's a fun review and talking about Halo in the future and this game in particular. I hope you enjoyed it. But shout out to the people that really do keep the lights and mics on and go and allow us at that highest tier to really help out. You get your name right at the end of each and every podcast we do at Club64. Amazing members like
Court,
Chuck Russo,
Sir Tallywhacker,
Smiles,
Creighton B,
my man Tanji,
my name is Dom,
Smung Dingle,
the Scooby-Doo running sound,
Brutalic,
Chad Chaddington III,
Roland K,
Leroy Jenkins,
40,
Awesome O,
Humunga Dunga,
Night Echoes,
Nimbus Finest,
Caleb Beef,
Zodiac,
Silent Hills X,
Cash R,
Chaboy Jake,
Jakey P,
Pigeon Power,
Sir Shellis,
Chuzar,
MG Dunbar,
Mr. Munchies.
Farmer Spud.
You
Oh, sorry,
skipped-
Malcolm the Dog.
Yep, and then Farmer Spud,
Rocketator,
Nofi,
the Dankest Mike,
Citrus,
Swampy Bits,
Tristan C,
Sconesy C,
Killer Cheese,
Aloha Alley,
Scooterman,
Centro,
DJ Carlos,
Neutral Sphere,
Eli the Unusual,
The Neutron Style,
Easton C,
Kingdom Hearts Rules,
Stooby Dooby,
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
Jacob D,
Big Mac,
Uli,
Metal Nate,
The Patty Cake,
Metalcore Cowboy,
Mega,
Yogi,
Damn,
Holden M,
Brock,
Voodoo,
Milky Sense,
Reggie Ranks,
Alex the Golden,
Andrew H,
Master Diz,
Cannon Fodder Games.
Only One, Rufus, yeah.
Yep. Kingdom Hearts sucks. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.